Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new around here. I'm an idiot. Let me tell you why, because I've already recorded all of this and my mic was muted. So yeah, just a bit of an idiot, aren't I really? But anyway, let's get into this. NA Winter Invitational this weekend. I have to try and remember every prediction that I previously made about 10 minutes ago and try and match it. So I know exactly what I'm going to do here. Let's get into it anyway. Gen G against Shopify Rebellion. I had as a sweep. So yeah, Gen G winning that one, in my opinion. I think Gen G are going to look just as strong as they always are. I'm obviously going to be sort of on a bit of a revenge arc, even though they got to the grand final last time. They did lose, but yeah, they're the kind of team, they're the kind of players with the mentality that they just want to win everything, similar to Carmine Corp. So yeah, they're going to be on a bit of a revenge arc here. They're going to be a scary team. Dignitas and Koi up next, and Koi actually looking pretty good lately, in my opinion. I think they're looking better than they have been previously, but Dignitas also have made a hell of a lot of progress over the last few splits. Not the few splits, the last few regionals, I should say. Dignitas looking really good. So I think this is going to be a Dignitas win. It's going to be 3-1. We'll give a game to Koi. Gen G Koi next up. I'm going to have this as 3-1 as well. Another game for Koi there, but not a win, unfortunately. Dignitas and Shopify up next. I think this would be a pretty comfortable win again for Dignitas. I think they're looking like a really good, solid unit, a really good team at the moment, playing and doing all of their roles really well. And that's what makes a good team, you know, when you know what your role is and you perfect that role, or at least get close to it, that's when you know you're going to be a good team. If you can all do that, you're going to be a solid unit. Next up is Gen G against Dignitas. I think this is going to be a closer game, but I'm going to have it going to 5 in favor of Gen G. And then next up, and the final match in this group, in Group A, is Koi against Rebellion. I'm actually going to go in favor of Koi here. I think they've got what it takes to beat Rebellion. I think they've been looking good, impressive lately. Promising is a good word to use for Koi at the moment. But yeah, I think they can take that against Rebellion there in the final match of Group A. Let's go over to Group B. FaZe against Optic in the round 1 matches, and FaZe obviously winning the last regional, and I think they're going to come out strong again here. And I don't rate Optic at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, Optic just have not been looking good at all. Even if you're an Optic fan, I think you can admit that Optic just have not been looking that good. Okay, they haven't been looking good. Everyone expected them to be better than they are. They aren't, and this isn't going to be an easy group for them at all, unfortunately. M80 up against Knights in the next match. M80 looking like a really good team as opposed to Optic. I think M80 looked like a properly good team, a solid unit. They're not one of the best teams. That could definitely happen, no doubt about it. But as a team, they're all playing very similar to Dignitas. They're playing their roles really well, and they know what their role is, and they're sticking by it. You know, nobody's doing anything silly. They're playing as a solid unit, and I think because of that, they're going to win this game 3-1 against Knights. Knights also looking like a decent team as well, but I think M80 just looking that little bit better than Knights at the moment. Next up is FaZe against Knights. I think this is going to be another win for FaZe. We're going to have it as another sweep as well. I think FaZe, yeah, looking really strong, and they can sweep that one. Next up is M80 against Optic. For me, it's only going one way, and that's M80's way. We're going to give a game to Optic, but I think a 3-1 win for M80 is going to happen. We then move on to FaZe against M80. Now this could be a pretty close matchup for FaZe. This is going to be their toughest game in this group, in my opinion. But I'm still going to have them winning. Not going to be as comfortable as the previous 2 games though. I'm going to have it going to 5 against M80. I think they're a really solid team, M80. I'm not going to keep saying it because I've said it a million times. But I think they can show up against FaZe. You know, that could be an upset there. I mean, they've already beat FaZe this split. There's no reason why they can't do it again. Next up, in the final match of Group B is Knights against Optic. Now this could go either way, in my opinion. I'm going to have it going Knights' way. I'm going to have it going to 5, but I think Knights can win that and will win that. Yeah, Knights are going to win that one, in my opinion, unfortunately. Next up is G2 against Ghost Gaming in the first game of Group C. And we're going to give G2 a win, 3-1. We'll give a game to Ghost. I think it's going to be a complete washout, but this is a really tough group for Ghost. As you can see here, they do have to contend with Furia, Space Station, and G2 in the same group. So yeah, not an easy group for Ghost. A little bit unfortunate to be drawn out against them teams, but it is what it is. The next match is SSG against Furia. SSG getting the better of Furia recently, and I think no different here. I'm going to have it going to 5, but I think Space Station will win that one. I think SSG as well, obviously fighting for that final spot in the major. They're fighting for that 5th place spot, and they can definitely do it. I think SSG can come out strong here and do it. I think they've looked pretty promising over the split, and I think they're going to give a really good match to every team they come up against here in this particular regional. Next up is G2 against Furia, and now we're going to have G2 winning this one 3-1. Furia, I do rate Furia. This is a really tough group though, and I can't see them beating SSG or G2 at the moment. SSG against Ghost in the next game. We're going to have a nice sweep here for SSG. That's going to be a sweep for them, nice and easy. G2 against SSG next. Now, most people probably think I'm going to go with G2 here. I did have to think about it a little bit previously when I already recorded this video, but I did go in favour of SSG, and I still believe SSG can win that against G2. I have it going to 5, but it's going to be 3-2 to Space Station. And then Furia and Ghost in the next game. I think this is going to be a sweep. I think Furia will sweep that. I think they'll end the group strong. Going to have a couple of first really tough matchups against SSG and G2, but they'll finish with a sweep against Ghost. Over to Group D, and the first match is Complexity against Team Axel. Now, Cole looking really good lately. Nothing's going to change there in my opinion. 3-1 win for them against Team Axel. A team not looking so good though is Version 1 and NRG looking promising. I think that's the right word for NRG at the moment, is promising. They've had some better individual performances, and if they can put that together as a team a bit more, there's no reason why they can't be a top team again. V1 on the other hand, I don't hate V1. I like their players, but they just have not been looking the V1 that we're used to, and I don't think that's going to change. I really don't. They're not going to make the major, we know that, and I just don't think they're gonna finish strong either. You know, they know they're not going to make the major, so you know, you could argue, well, they've got no pressure, they might be really good. Yeah, it's a possibility. I don't think that's going to be the case though. I think NRG are going to win that 3-1 and pretty comfortably. Complexity against NRG is next, and I think Cole will win this one pretty comfortably against NRG, so we'll have a 3-1 win there. V1 against Axel, again, don't think V1 are going to play that well. They haven't been playing that well. I don't think they're going to beat Axel. I think Axel, again, both teams have no pressure, and I quite rate Axel. I know V1 are a better team than Axel, don't get me wrong, when they're all putting it together, but I do rate Axel, and I think that can be an upset there, so we're going to go with the upset. Best of 5, we're going to have it going to game 5, 3-2 in favour of Axel. Complexity against V1 next, sweep for Complexity, and then NRG against Team Axel in the final match of the Group D, and I think NRG will end with a good win there against Axel, 3-1. I think have they lost to Axel previously? I think they might have earlier in the split. It might have been last split actually, can't remember exactly, but this time around NRG are going to get the better of Axel. So then let's quickly recap the groups. Group A, Genji at the top, Dignitas and Koi making it into the next round, and then Rebellion at the bottom of Group A, FaZe winning Group B, M80 and Knights into the next round, Optic at the bottom. Group C, SSG winning the group, and this is the group of death, SSG coming out on top, G2 and Furia through to the next round, and Ghost Gaming unfortunately at the bottom of Group C, but very likely. I think if there's going to be a shock out of any of these groups, it would be Ghosts making it out of Group C. If they do that, fair play to them. Give it to them. I think if there's a team that could go out in this group that isn't Ghosts, it's probably going to be Furia, in my opinion, at the moment as it stands. Doesn't mean to say Furia aren't playing well. I just think if Ghosts do cause an upset, it could be against Furia. But yeah, I've got that as a sweep, to be fair, in the final game, so I don't think it's going to happen. Group D, Complexity at the top, NRG and Axel through to the next round, and V1 going out at the bottom of Group D. Playoffs next up, and we have M80 against Axel. A nice little matchup here for M80. I think M80 can win this one pretty comfortably. We're going to have it as a 3-1 win. And then the next game is G2 against Koi. Don't underestimate Koi here. Do not underestimate them at all. They're looking really good. Aqua has been playing really well, as has Gyro and Knight as well. I mean, as a team, they've been playing very well. I am going to go in favour of G2, but only slightly. Only slightly. I think G2 will have to go to game 5 there to complete that win. Next game, Dignitas against Furia. Now, I've got it as Dignitas playing well in this regional. Now that doesn't mean to say Furia are going to play bad here, but I just have a feeling that Furia will get the slight edge over... Sorry, I just have a feeling that Dignitas will get the slight edge over Furia in this game. I'm going to have it 3-2 to Dignitas. And then next game is NRG versus Knights. Knights could easily win this. It could happen. It does happen to NRG, but not this time. They're going to win 3-1 here against Knights. And then the first match of the quarterfinals, we have Gen.G against M80. A bit of a rematch here. They played quite recently, and M80 certainly gave them a very, very good game, a tough game. Made it harder than most teams do for Gen.G, in my opinion, did M80. So fair play to them. And once again, I think they're going to make it tough. I am going to give Gen.G the win in 7. But M80 are going to make it tough. They're going to take 3 games off of Gen.G there, in my opinion. Complexity against G2 in the next game. I would usually have Complexity going through because I think they've been very good recently. This time around, they're not going to make the semis because G2 are. 4-2 to G2. FaZe against Dignitas in the next quarterfinals, best of 7. I think this could be a really tight game, actually. I know FaZe looked really good. They did win the last regional. I don't know if they can do it twice in a row. We shall see. I don't think they're going to be as easy as a run that they had last time. Not that the run was necessarily easy, but they made it look easy, right? I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last time. They're still going to be good, don't get me wrong. But some teams are going to be wanting to take them down. Dignitas aren't going to take them down. FaZe are going to get through to the semis. Next up is SSG against NRG. I think SSG will win this one pretty comfortably. We'll give a 4-1 to Space Station there. And then the next game, Gen.G against G2. Can only see one winner here. Gen.G getting the better of G2 once again, and Gen.G into the grand final once again. And then the next game is FaZe against SSG. I don't believe FaZe will get into another grand final twice in a row. I don't think we're going to have the same grand final twice in a row as well. Therefore, we're going to have it going to 7, but I'm going to have SSG just getting in ahead of FaZe for the grand final spot, the final grand final spot against Gen.G. Gen.G versus Space Station in the final. I think it's going to go to 7, but I am going to have it as Gen.G edging out a win there. Unfortunately for you Space Station fans, I know you want me to bet Space Station to win, but it's not going to happen this time, but they are going to get to a grand final. So let's see what that does for the Rlcs points. Let's go over here. And as you can see, SSG making it to the major on the final spot in 5th place there. Complexity, G2, FaZe and Gen.G also, of course, making the major. Gen.G making the major very comfortably. But yeah, SSG getting that last spot. So that's a good thing. SSG going to the major in my books. Going to beat Dignitas to that final spot. As much as I wanted to put Dignitas in there through, I think SSG are going to pick it up when they need to. They need to now. It's now or never to make the major. And I think they're going to do it. I have faith in them. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to go on a really good run all the way to the final. And they're going to make that last major spot. Let me know what your thoughts are on my predictions. Let me know what your predictions are as well. Who do you have winning the major, or not the major, the regional this weekend? Do you have SSG getting to the final like I do? Do you have Gen.G winning the regional again like I do? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what your predictions are. If you have enjoyed the video and you haven't subscribed to the channel, do consider doing so. Do subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it if you could do that. Certainly helps my channel grow, and it helps me let me know what you guys are enjoying as well. And like the video too if you did enjoy. Again, let me know what your predictions are. I would be very intrigued to know what you have all put. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will speak to you all very soon.